build my wealth as a PA? I recently posted this question on my Instagram, and so many of you thought that I became a PA millionaire by investing in my 4K and launching an online business. Well, that's not entirely true at all. Very few millionaires achieve that millionaire status in their 30s by simply investing in their retirement account. Now, you know I'm a huge fan of Roth IRA and 4K, and I understand that compound interest can significantly grow your wealth, but it often takes decades, 20 or 30 years to do so. But I wanted to become a millionaire within 10 years of clinical practice, and I did just that. And I did it the unconventional way. I accumulated my wealth the boring, old-fashioned way. I did it through my PA income. I leveraged my PA income, and that was my only source of income for about 5 years. You see, early in my career, I didn't have 7 streams of income. I didn't have a side hustle. I didn't sell digital products. I didn't start my own online business. I knew nothing about entrepreneurship. Instead, I used my PA income as the primary vehicle to fund my investments. At the age of 26 years old, fresh out of PA school, my starting salary was $90,000 with an additional $10,000 in bonuses. So my starting income was pretty high, and that's really good. You want the high starting point. And each subsequent year, I successfully negotiated for higher salaries and bonuses and raises. And that's how I built my wealth, through negotiation, by increasing my income every single year. And this steady and growing income allowed me to rapidly pay off my student loans, $150,000 in just 4 years. I think I was making anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 in monthly payments. And as my debt dwindled down, got smaller and smaller, I resisted the urge to inflate my lifestyle. Now, with all this extra income, all this extra money I had, I didn't buy a new BMW. Even though I wanted to, I didn't buy a house, I didn't go to Coachella, and I didn't spend money on a personal trainer. I lived a very frugal and modest life. So I took that $4,000 a month I was going towards my student loans, and I redirected it towards my retirement account. And at this time, I was 30 years old. My net worth at 30 years old was $0. I finally got rid of all of my debt, and I was starting at just baseline. And now I wanted to start investing aggressively. And this was when I maxed out my contributions in my 401k, my Roth IRA, and my HSA. So these safer, more conservative retirement accounts, well, they promise an 8 to 10% return on investment. And this is a pretty big deal for me as a newbie investor. I wanted to play it safe. I didn't really know how to invest aggressively, but I did just that. So once these retirement accounts were maxed out, I had a much deeper understanding of how investing actually works. So I ventured out into the real estate market. Now, my husband and I, we diligently saved $120,000 in 15 months because we wanted to buy a house. We wanted to start a family. We had our second child on the way, and we wanted to settle roots in Las Vegas. I want to point out that the only reason we started to invest in the real estate market was because we could afford it financially. At this point, we had 0 student loan debt, 0 credit card debt, and we had one car that's completely paid off. And we could afford a $20,000 down payment and subsequent monthly payment, regardless of how the economy was performing. We had enough money in our bank account to pay our mortgage, even if one of us unexpectedly lost our jobs. And even if it was a bad market and if everything was crashing down and interest rates were high, we knew we could still afford to weather the storm. And that's why we went into real estate. Now, I'm gonna quickly interrupt my own video to tell you that I'm launching a new community for PAs who are serious about achieving millionaire status within a decade of clinical practice. I am looking for PAs who want to be work optional, live a very unconventional life. If that's you, I invite you to join our upcoming community. We're gearing up to launch this community in a few weeks. And this is gonna be a wealth building community that is focused on serving you to help you become financially independent. And we're gonna do that with live check-ins, coaching sessions, in-depth training, and interactive Q&As. You can sign up for notification and for a private invite into our community with the link below right here. It's in the description. Now, back to my story. A year and a half after we purchased our first primary home, we purchased an investment property. And it was a 4-plex in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville. How to learn how to say that. It's not Louisville, it's Louisville. We rented this house to 4 different tenants and we're collecting passive income through this investment. Now, how do we manage to buy 2 houses in just 3 years? Well, the answer remains consistent. We decreased our expenses and we continually increased our income. It's a really boring answer, but it's the truth. Well, more so for me because my husband isn't really a huge fan of negotiation. It makes him feel weird about it. He did increase his income throughout the year, but just not as aggressively as I would like, but that's beside the point. At this time, we were still living very modestly on one single income, and we invested the other income into 2 different categories. One, our retirement accounts, and the other was savings for the house that we wanted to buy. And I think at this point, we were living off of $80,000 for a family of 4. So pretty frugal for the US. Now, my 2 properties end up being both investment properties because, as you know, in 2021, I experienced severe PA burnout and I moved my family to Thailand. So those 2 properties are funding my current lifestyle right now. Well, actually some of it, because we invest half of the money into our retirement again, and the other half we invested into living our best life in Thailand. And by that, I actually mean that money is really supporting my entrepreneurial journey. And we actually put a lot of the money also into crypto as well. So that's something else. With that money from our investment property, I took that to start my online business. So I started Your PA Mentor on social media. At first it was free, but then I started using more money to get a YouTube editor and all this other expenses that keep adding up. I know you're thinking, is that how you build your wealth, Sam, through your online business? I wish that was true, but it's not. My online business isn't making nowhere near the amount of money I was earning as a PA, at least towards my latter years as a PA. And that's because I'm still in my very early stages of entrepreneurship and I'm learning as I go. My business is only a year old, but I'm confident that with this business, it's gonna take me to multi-millionaire status a lot faster because I'm putting all of my focus into one thing, my business. I have found that the key to my success in the past has always been my single-minded intensity. When I wanted to pay off my student loan debt, that $150,000 in 4 years, I focused on increasing my income and decreasing my expenses. And I lived really frugally for those 4 years to achieve that one single goal. I wasn't doing anything else but thinking about just getting rid of that and becoming debt free. And when my husband and I wanted to buy a house, we focused on one thing, which was saving for the house within 15 months. So we put all of our money into a savings account for that house. I wasn't trying to buy a house and start a side hustle at the same time. I was just doing one thing and one thing only. I didn't allow myself to get distracted with shiny object syndrome. I wasn't trying to invest in 9 things at once. I did one thing really well, and then once I got comfortable, I moved to the next step and the next step and the next step. And most people, they cannot build their wealth because they can't stay focused on one thing for a really long time. And I call this the TikTok and the Instagram era. We try to do everything all at once and we fail at all those things. So if you're watching this video and you want to get really serious about building your wealth, here's my advice to you. Start with your full-time job. Get really good at it. Automate it. Increase your income. And then take that income and use that income to funnel your investments. This is your retirement account. That's safe. And then once you have better understanding of how investments actually work, then take that income and slowly create multiple streams of income and start building those businesses. But you gotta do it in phases, not all at once. Otherwise, you won't achieve any of your goals. You'll get burnt out and you'll just, oh, it's loud. Knowing what I know now, I think I probably could have became a PA millionaire within 7 years instead of 10. But I don't know, maybe that's not true, I don't know. I guess it's really easy for me to say in retrospect, but I made a lot of mistakes early on and I wish I would have started earlier. Part of building wealth is being able to silence the noise and just stay focused. The first 2 years of my journey, I was unfocused. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no mission, no goals. And so that's something you should really focus on in the very beginning of your journey so that you know exactly what you're doing and how to get there and stay accountable for it. And with that said, I will see you in the next videos by future millionaires. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below and like and subscribe for more PA content. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.